one of the VIS directors, I can only echo what Louise has said for the VIS East. For us, it's always one of the most frustrating times of the entire mood when we have the teams coming to us and saying we didn't get a visa, we had other problems. We had this year 406 teams who submitted both memoranda, claimant and respondent, and then we lost 21 of them due to these issues on which we have no influence. Yeah, we try our best, yeah, to organize to make everything possible, but we were extremely happy when we were approached by Cesar in Africa and the Moot about their willingness to organize this special Willem Service virtual Post-Moot to allow the teams which were affected this year by the unfortunate events uh, to allow them to show what they have learned and to practice their skills and at least to get some idea of what Vienna and Hong Kong are like. And for us, it's also, as Luis said, we're looking forward to seeing you back, either as a student, if you're still eligible next year, yeah, and we will be very generous in allowing students in who have participated this year but couldn't make it to either Hong Kong or Vienna, or as arbitrator or coaches in future years. It's extremely gratifying also for the organizers to see how many people have taken up the task of trying to provide education and additional education on the weekends, sitting as arbitrator and helping you getting at least a little bit of the VIS feeling. So thank you for joining. Thank you for those of you who have made it possible that teams have overcome some of their serious impediments beyond control. And I look forward seeing you in future years in person then either in Vienna or in Hong Kong. With that, I also have the pleasure, and I apologize for my bad pronunciation, of announcing the best oralist speaker. And we have decided that the names will put up on screen to avoid that those who read out by me and have their names truncated by me don't realize that they want something. Congratulations to everyone who has participated, and I'm now reading out the 5 best oralist speakers. So the 5th runner-up for a best oralist in the general round is Abdullah Hassanian from Al Narayan University in Iraq. Congratulations. 4th runner-up is Tigran Papian Ranepa from Russia. Congratulations. And then we don't have a 3rd runner-up, but we have an equal 2nd runner-up for the best oralist, and that is Emanuela Avinpoma Adongo, University of Ghana 2, and Nahum Ayepong, University of Ghana 2. So the 2 speakers we saw in the final. Then congratulations to both of them. Then we have the 1st runner-up for the best oralist, and that's Ivy Amoako, University of Ghana 2. I have University of Ghana 1 on my letter here. So it's at least University of Ghana. And then we have the best oralist in the general rounds, and that's Mika Nsia, University of Ghana. Congratulations to all those who received one of these honorable mention or best oralists, and congratulations to all of you who have participated. You made a great job. I heard from a number of arbitrators that they were impressed what you have been doing despite all the circumstances. And as I said, I'm looking forward to seeing you in whatever position in the future years. Thanks. And with that, I turn over to our presiding arbitrator, Professor Ingeborg Schwenzer, which probably needs no introduction. You're muted, Ingeborg.
You're still muted, Professor Schwenzer. I think it's payback
Yes,
for the number of times you said it during the finals to the teams.
thank you. It was an honor and real joy for me to be the presiding arbitrator in this final panel of the virtual Post-Moot. I join the previous speakers in thanking and admiring the organizing and participating persons who made this Post-Moot possible. Those of you who watched us online, we witnessed a wonderful final argument with very strong teams who did a great job. And both teams, I can congratulate already now both teams. And it was hard for the tribunal to make a decision, but we had to make a decision. And the prevailing team is University of Ghana too. But please give a strong hand also to the other team who made it to the final, namely Middlesex University of Dubai 1. So congratulations to both teams, to the prevailing team, but also to the second runner-up of this virtual Post-Moot. Thank you very much. And with this, I give the floor for the final for the closing remarks to Barry Leon.
We did.
We've got the celebration going on there. I feel like I'm interrupting the celebration, so we should probably give them time to duly celebrate. The standing back from everything that's happened over the past 2 days, one can't help but have admiration and respect and warm feelings for the international arbitration community, which has come together in a couple of weeks to make this past 2 days happen. It's been, I think, an amazing arbitration moot. It's shown what an amazing arbitration community there is around the world. And we all know the reasons, and we've just heard the reasons why it's come about. The teams haven't had an opportunity and won't to tell us their feelings about the disappointment. So we could only imagine when we set out to organize this, how disappointed members of the teams must have felt after working so hard to prepare, after doing their memoranda, and then sadly not being able to travel to the moot to compete. So we hoped when we started this, and we hope now that we finish this, that we've relieved at least some of the disappointment by providing the opportunity to compete. We couldn't replace the other aspects of the moots, all the things that happen in Vienna, all the things that happen in Hong Kong. You've had a bit of an opportunity to interact in the main room of this virtual moot, but it's certainly, we know, not the same. Moving to a virtual moot wasn't magic, to say the least. Apart from the organizing, which I'll come to talk about in a moment, many of you are in jurisdictions where the internet connectivity is problematic at the best of times. And this hasn't been the best of times for internet connectivity in some of the jurisdictions. So on that note, let me turn to the people and organizations that we want to thank. First of all, the arbitrators. As you've heard a couple of times over the past couple of days, we had, in the course of about 5 days, over 200 people come forward to volunteer as arbitrators from around the world. Some of the leading arbitrators, some of them you saw during the general rounds. It's really been rewarding to see how much support there has been, and other people who sent emails to us saying they're really sorry they can't for personal commitments, Orthodox Easter, a whole range of reasons why people weren't able to volunteer, but felt sufficiently taken by the cause to send their personal remarks. Then we had the tribunal assistants, people who volunteered as arbitrators. We had such a large response that we came up with the idea of having tribunal assistants who could observe, sit in on the deliberations, learn, and also serve as emergency arbitrators to step in. So we thank the tribunal assistants as well as the arbitrators. Then we have the teams, which of course we couldn't have had this happen without the teams. And we appreciate that we don't have all the teams who weren't able to make it to Hong Kong or Vienna. Some of them had exams. Some of them couldn't bring themselves to reorganize. We know that all of you who did compete had put your papers away, so to speak, and had to gear up again, and did gear up again. And I won't read through the names, but they're on the slide. And if you look at the jurisdictions represented, I think it's more than amazing. Iraq, Uganda, Iran, India, UAE, Peru, Russia, Tanzania, Ghana, and I haven't read the multiple names. So we've had a number of teams, as you can see, from some of those jurisdictions. There's two special shout outs that I want to give. Sorry, let me do the substitute teams, and then I'll come back to the shout outs. The substitute teams, as you all will know, we had teams from South Africa and Brazil at our request engage with the teams to provide more competition. They weren't, they didn't compete, but they did provide the opportunity for all of the teams to have 2 rounds in the general rounds. And so we thank them very much, and the efforts that were made by them to help make this a better experience for the competing teams. The shout outs that I mentioned, first of all, to Rihanna Javdan, who was our point person in Iran, helping to get teams to compete. She served as an arbitrator during the course of the past 2 days. And Yasmin Sheba from Middlesex, Dubai, who helped in a lot of ways with the recruiting of teams and arbitrators in other parts of the Middle East. So to both of you, we really appreciate the efforts that you made. We wouldn't have had the same participation without your contributions. And our thanks, not just from the organizers, but from the teams and the arbitrators. You've already heard from the Post-Moot and Post-Moot East Stefan, and Louise, and you heard in the opening, Chris Key and Sherlyn Tung. We weren't quite sure what they would think of this idea. And of course, we were not going to do it if they were opposed to it. Well, we were more than pleased to find that they were supportive, and even more pleased how supportive they've been. Not only giving it their blessing, promoting it, announcing it at the end of the Post-Moot, but participating, as you've seen, from the participation in the opening, from the participation in the final, and from the remarks you've just heard. So how was this ever going to get organized with Cesar Pereira and me? Neither of us having the ability to organize anything like this. Well, Cesar had the insight that the Africa in the Moot organization has organized moots, and would they be willing to do this? And as you've seen, they made an incredible effort to make sure that this happened. They've run a virtual moot, and I've seen during the pandemic, I saw many virtual moots. Nobody could top them in how they've run this moot, and working literally 24 hours a day because of their locations. So Aaron and Pavan, who you've seen a lot of, I'm going to also thank their team. I'm not going to read out their names again. I did read them out at the beginning. But before I finish the thank yous, I was going to call on them. Before I call on them, they prepared this wonderful graphic, which you see, that sort of summarizes what we've had. So 22 teams, 204 arbitrator registrations, 27 rounds, 13 administrative volunteers, and 61 jurisdictions represented. And we'll keep this slide because I'm going to come back to it when I come to the. Well, I'll do it now because actually Cesar went through the organizations already, the supporting organizations, so you can just see them listed here: Arbitral Women, Chartered Institute of Arbitrators, Moot Alumni Association, TDM OJAMID, which includes Young OJAMID, which is available for free to the students. And if you're not on it, this is my advertisement. Sign up. It's a great way to learn and connect with young arbitrators around the world, and women in ADR. And as well, there were other organizations such as the Africa Arbitration Academy, which at our request promoted. And then we have our virtual host, the International Dispute Resolution Center in London, which has provided this platform, which provided the assistance in managing the platform, and in the Zoom, drawing a blank here on the what's our other platform? The open platform. Somebody will fill in my blank. And to Damien Hickman from the CEO of the IDRC, and to Mike Jenkins, who has been in the background, making sure that if there were any problems that couldn't be handled, they'd be there to fix them. Fortunately, we didn't have any problems. Now let me call on Aaron and Pavan to say a few words. Or is it maybe Aaron's going to do the few words on behalf of both of them? I'm not sure.
It seems I've been put in the spotlight quite literally, so I think it falls on me. Thank you very much, Barry. And you already indicated earlier that it's sort of been a 24-hour-a-day process. So apologies in advance for any incoherence that's about to come from us. But yes, I do definitely have the honor to speak on behalf of Africa in the Moot. We have as one of our philosophies within Africa in the Moot that a win for one is a win for all. But that also means that it doesn't take one person. It absolutely takes a lot of people to do what we do. And now that those of the participants have officially finished their Post-Moot experience, you will know that any good advocate with good written advocacy has an introduction that connects to its conclusion. So I will repeat some of the things that I said yesterday when we opened this ceremony, or opened this very, very special event. And that is for Africa in the Moot and all of those who represent it. It is truly a privilege, and it's part of our purpose to be here and to be involved in initiatives like this. And although our name indicates Africa, that does indicate, of course, the very strong focus of our purpose, that we try to put Africans in the moot. It's and obviously to promote arbitration in those jurisdictions with which we work. It's not only about Africans that are participating in this very, very special experience overall. It's about inclusion and equality of not only Africans, but indeed all students and lawyers, quite frankly, around the world. And inclusion and equality can only truly be achieved if it is done globally. It cannot be segmented at all. So this is very much what has brought us to lose some sleep, perhaps, but to drive this initiative at the request and invitation of the colleagues that you just heard from moments ago. And we know, of course, everybody on this call will have a full realization that barriers come in many forms. That's barriers to inclusion and barriers to various opportunities. One of the most obvious barriers, which we've all faced right now, is geography. So on that perspective, we are indeed really, really honored to have been involved in something that does in a very significant way actually drop borders and drop barriers and gives a very meaningful access. And I hope that you will take that with you. And again, it's part of our philosophy and our mission that no team should be left behind and no team should be overlooked. So for us, this is a no-brainer that we are all here today, regardless of where we come from, the 61 jurisdictions in particular. And I want you to really, on that perspective, also look at the map that's on the screen in front of you, because as also it's a very common saying in many of the African countries that it takes a village. And what we see on this map is absolutely that global village that has come together to create this occasion. And it's very, very much more than the moot. The moot is what brings us together initially, but it pays dividends and has so many benefits that we can't even imagine from this moment. And you are all really part of something. To the students who have participated here, whether you think of it as just a weekend thing that you did where you got to dust off your pleadings instead of deleting those files when you may have been disappointed weeks ago, or something I hope that you are really, really enriched by. Please take away with you the fact that you are truly part of something very, very special. And we hope to see you in the next season. Please remember to also pay forward your experiences and continue contributing to this global community, which you are very much part of and for which you are very, very deeply appreciated and valued. So congratulations to all people. Thank you to everyone who has put their hands and fingerprints and hearts and several cups of coffee towards this event. It's been an absolute joy and privilege. And on behalf of Africa in the Moot, I can only say thank you, congratulations, and see you next season.
Wonderful, Aaron. And we all take those words and thoughts to heart. So how do we end? I was going to say, for those of you who appreciate what we've done and what all the people we've thanked have done, there's three things you can do. And they all end in up, UP. Number one, move up in your education and careers around arbitration. Keep arbitration as part of wherever you wind up, whatever you wind up doing. Keep a place for it and move up and be successful in your careers wherever they take you. Secondly, talk up the Vismoot, talk up the Vismoot East, encourage schools to have participation in the moots, create these opportunities for others, and encourage others to participate in them. And then the third up is help up. Help those who are following you, volunteer as moot coaches in the endless number of pre-moots, in educational programs. That's one way that you can help others. And that's one way that you can help expand the arbitration community, and particularly achieve the objectives that Aaron was just talking about by making the global arbitration community more inclusive, more representative of those jurisdictions who have been and remain underrepresented. That brings me to the end of my remarks. And unless there is anything else that I've missed or any other administrative announcements that need to be made, I will say, wish you all, in the words that might have been said in Hong Kong and Vienna, safe travels home. But in this case, enjoy the very little time that's left in your weekends, and hopefully we'll meet up again at one or another arbitration events somewhere in the world sometime soon. Thank you all.
Perhaps to close, it's an Africa in the Moot tradition that we ended up saying on all of our education series, but good morning, good afternoon, or good evening from wherever you're joining. So we can close in that global way.
Well, now I think we have to go a little further because of where one of our team members are, and that's, for him, it's good night.
Well, good evening was being polite, I think, yes.
It's the middle of the night for Pavan, so the dedication of Aaron and Pavan is so much appreciated.
Thank you very much. Well, thank you very much to all. You will see us on LinkedIn. You will, well, many social media platforms, I'm sure. Please, if you are interested in finding out more about the event, reach out to us, info@africainthemoot.com. Please continue supporting moots in your own jurisdictions globally, and I'm sure that all of us will see each other again, probably not too long from now. But until then, keep well, and maybe not safe travels, but as Barry said, have a good morning, afternoon, or night, wherever you may be